What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 18th day of March, and here we are at about $1.44 with roughly not 11 minutes left in the day, but 8 hours, 11 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the price action. While today seems very scary, don't get me wrong, we're down 5%, and it's one of the larger days that we've seen to the downside throughout this whole range here. I'm not really that intimidated. Call me crazy. I'm not really that intimidated. Crypto's been volatile. We've really been moving sideways. Every time that we've felt fear or we felt excitement over the past 2 months, it has been a point at which we come back down or we come back up. It's nothing really more than that. We haven't done anything exciting. We're just returning back to the mean. We're in the middle of this range, the same range, an all familiar range that we've been at for quite some time. So don't get too discouraged. This drop is not happening with excessive volume. We very well could be finding support right here. Mark my words, this really could be the low of this move. And we recover and we're moving up overall. I do believe from this range that we will not break out to the downside, that we will break out to the upside and likely persist up to about $2, somewhere around there. Maybe just below there, just above there. But I am thinking, $1.85 to $1.20. Sorry, $1.85 to $2.20, somewhere in that area. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen between now and late April, maybe sometime in May. That's the general overview. Let's get into the short-term stuff and get a little technical with it here, okay? 1 hour time frame. Again, it's not stupendous volume, but from here, you can see we did break out. Volume did come in. Okay, so this tells me that we shouldn't necessarily expect just like a rapid recovery, a V-shaped recovery from here. Maybe we move up, we find resistance at prior support, and then we continue to move down. Maybe this is a low point, we kind of round it out, and then slowly we come back up, but I'm not seeing any kind of immediate recovery happening right now, at least based on the 1 hour time frame. It's the 1 hour, so immediate's relevant, right, or relative, right? Immediate, not immediate on the 1 hour is like not today, but it could be tomorrow. So that still is kind of immediate. The 1 hour RSI certainly does look bearish here. We could see a little bit of volatility coming into the upside, find some resistance, come back down. Maybe we get a lower low. Maybe we get some bullish divergence, however it works out. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did see lower prices at some point between now and like tomorrow. Stochastics are oversold, bearish. The MACD has just crossed below the zero. That's also bearish. We're building bearish momentum there as well. Looking at this here from the relative low back on the 28th of February, the final day of February to the high here, we have gone below the 382. We are at prior areas of resistance here, resistance there, resistance everywhere. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we came back up to a price about like $1.52. I would, however, be surprised if we got too much above there. I doubt that we see a 4 hour close above there. I doubt that we move too much past that level, right? We might not even hit this level, but I do expect some type of movement up. This would be the maximum kind of area. Anywhere in between here and there is fine though, right? A lower high nonetheless is what I'm expecting. From there, we probably do proceed lower. And I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we went down to the golden ratio, inevitably down to $1.39 to $1.36. We're at $1.44 now. This shouldn't scare you. It's not too much, but $1.36 to $1.39 seems appropriate for a call. That's what I would expect happens probably by the end of this week, probably, if not early next week, okay? It doesn't have to be all like this. It can be, like a slow kind of endeavor, and then we slowly come back down, and then before you know it, it's Monday, and we're down at those $1.39, $1.36 target areas. 4 hour time frame, the RSI has broken out of its uptrend. We had a nice established higher low kind of dynamic here. Broke out of that. We're below the 50 now, bearish overall. Volatility along the way should be expected, but I do think that this move will end once the 4 hour is in the oversold zone, just as it did before. I think that that's appropriate to expect, right? This last low happened when we were in the oversold zone. Here, we got oversold, and that wasn't the end of the move. It was very near it. We had a slightly lower low, and then we moved up. Then we had another move down, right? So I do expect that there's more price to the downside to come here, okay? The stochastics, I don't know if you guys can hear that TV, but maybe someone could turn it down over there. Stochastics are getting into the oversold zone. Whenever you're getting into the oversold zone, that should tell you that you are coming to the end of this move, but you're not quite there yet. We got here into the oversold zone. We were getting to the end of the move. We weren't just quite there yet, right? We got oversold here. We were getting to the end of the move. From the high to the low, we were getting to the end, but we just weren't quite there yet. So in that same context, it could be like this. It could be like this. It could be something completely different. I do think that we have lower to go. The MACD is the one positive thing to take out from here. Yes, we are crossing red. Yes, we are going down, but we have a chance to find support at the zero. Being above the zero with the oscillators is nice. If we can find support there, that's very encouraging to this thought that what we're going to see here is overall a higher low, and we likely do continue to rally. And it could be a lower low than this. We don't have to hold this as a higher low. I guess I just mean like this is a higher low, this is a higher low. You can see that this is a higher low, even though this low is lower than these lows, right? This could still be a higher low and be lower than this low or even than this low, right? As long as we're maintaining higher lows overall, I think we're fine. And the MACD certainly implies that to me. So I don't think this is something that's going to be a serious rejection point. I think it's just a little bit of volatility before we get our freak on and move up to $2 going into next month. The RSI rejected the overbought zone. That's bearish. Typically, when you reject, you either find support at the 50 or the 40. Whenever these stochastics reject, you typically get into the oversold zone or find support at the 50. The MACD is at the zero. I'm not expecting a rejection here. That could happen. That would not be good. We would probably break out of this range to the downside if we reject this zero. I would expect instead we kind of accumulate, consolidate, and then we'll break out at a later date sometime going into the end of this month. Okay. Overall, it's the same old stuff. I hope I gave you guys some things to think about. Don't think about it too much. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. As they say in Spain and Mexico and many parts of Latin America, adios.